We have found all the boats. There are probably going to be hundreds of boats here.
All of them.
Other boaters who have been boating for years actually said they've never seen it be that windy for that long.
Anchoring can be a stressful time for a lot of boaters, and over the past year we've developed a procedure that seems to work well for us. So we'll share it here.
It goes right here. So you go here over to Comer East. Slapped right now, that's so nice.
Yeah. It does that every minute or two. Yeah.
So my dad and Dave are heading out to go hike. I don't know why. Oh my god. It says it's an art trail. They have some little artwork already over here. Stop it. That's hilarious.
It's so cool.
That's amazing.
Well, we're headed over to the windward side of the island. I'm curious to know what this is going to feel like and look like.
I already hear the ocean. Welcome aboard Unported. We are off on a wild adventure to see and explore together, one anchorage, dive, and hike at a time, with the goal of living each and every day to its fullest. I'm Natalie, that's TJ, our pup Camo, and my dad and Captain Mike. We spent last season on the East Coast, and now it's time to head south. Make sure to join us as we cruise through the Caribbean on an adventure of a lifetime. We are pulling into Georgetown over here at Stocking Island, and we have found all the boats. There are probably going to be hundreds of boats here.
All of them. Well, here we are in Georgetown, hunkered down for the big storm for the next 5 or 6 days. It's supposed to be a consistent 25 to 30 knot wind gust. And here's our anchor circle, or boundary. And it looks like we're beginning to drag already, and it's day 1. So this should be interesting to see where we end up on day 5. Hopefully we stay in here. Hopefully we don't end up over here.
Look how much food he has.
It's not that much food.
That is a lot of breakfast. TJ. You can't even burn calories. We're just going to be sitting on the boat for days. You do not need to eat this much food.
Cora's always stabilizing yourself all day long.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a good thing we're by a grocery store. That is excessive.
I worked out this morning.
You did. Well, nothing else to do but eat.
Well, the people next to us are trying to windsurf.
It's a great week for that. And we just found out that it's going to blow like this for the next 10 days at least.
And it could go beyond that.
It could go beyond that. Today is, what is today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. And we just checked the weather forecast, and it shows all the way till next Thursday, essentially being this windy.
Yahoo. Yahoo.
There's like 2 days it goes down to 12 knots. Right now it's blowing at about 28. And it calms down for like an hour or so. And it stays basically about this for the next 10 days. So it's a good time to hang out in Georgetown and get some videos done.
If you knew how to windsurf and had a windsurfer, this would be ideal.
I know, we just gotta go over there. We should, TJ, you could go over to their boat and ask to windsurf.
I could.
The girls would love if you went over there and windsurf with them.
Oh please, Timothy, show me how to windsurf.
Oh. We have our friend Dave coming over. Took his dinghy over today. through all the wild chop, and we are going to go over some routes. So we had another boat last night come over and show us a bunch of routes over in places to go in the Ragged Islands and Jamento. So we're going to sit down with him and show him our routes and see if he wants to join us in places. So that's what I said. If you rent a car there, you can go north to the north side. That is there's some kind of monument up there, a Christopher Columbus monument, I think.
Yeah, where Christopher Columbus supposedly landed.
Gotcha. So you can go up there with the car, and then you also can go down to the southern end, like Clarencetown and the Dean's Blue Hole, and do all of that on the southern side. But they said that.
Oh, there's a Columbus monument there.
Oh yeah.
I think they have about 6 of those over there. San Salvador has one.
First thing.
Yeah.
So they're kind of saying it's just easier. It's too hard to get the boat down to Clarencetown, so you're just better off just getting a car and driving down there. Okay, so it goes right here. So you go here over to Comer East, and then you go through Comer Channel, and then you drag it this direction over here, and then you go down this southwest leg.
Oh, that's great.
Down to here. So my dad and Dave are heading out to go hike. I don't know why. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're lunatics. I think I'm good on that. I think I'm just gonna stay here. It's starting to rain right now also. So we're gonna stay here where it's dry and a little bit less windy and get some episodes done and some boat work done and all that fun stuff, because I mean, that does not look enjoyable. They're going for a hike, but they're gonna get soaking wet getting there from the waves, and now it's like raining anyway. So it's going to be, we just checked the weather. It's currently Tuesday right now. And it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future, which is up until next Thursday. So like 9-10 days from now, it's all just the same. It's like 17 to 35 knot winds, just nonstop. And there were some other boaters we were hanging out with who've been down here for a few seasons, and they said that they have never seen a storm come through that's this long. Like usually it's like 2-3 days, it blows kind of hard, then it gets better. And it's already been like this for the last 3 days. This is almost 2 weeks straight of just incessant winds. So we're glad we're in Georgetown because it's really protected inside of here from basically all directions. It's a big area, there's a lot of beaches, a lot of things to do, people to hang out with, so it's a good place to pass a 2-week storm. But 2-week storm? That's nuts. It's definitely gonna mean that we have to make a few other stops shorter in the next few weeks, but we're here for now. It works, our anchor's holding, and here we be. We have some big waves and some big boat neighbors. Another Nordhaven over there. There's actually 2 Nordhavens, Bookend and Dagny are anchored over there with us. And a lot of sailboats. Nope, too windy. Do you need to go potty? I'll go out there with you. Let's go potty, I'll go with you. Oh, your mat. Let me fix your mat. Okay, there you go. Go ahead. Go potty. Watch this. Serious aim. Right off the back of the boat. Nicely done, Camo. Yeah. Okay, let's go inside.
It's not. It's now. It is.
Okay, so we're going outside to go secure the chafe guard on the bridle because yes, we're gonna fix the chafe guard. Yes, because the one we have one really long one that's great, and then the other one we have has 2 short ones on there, and it keeps sliding down. So we're gonna go tape it into place, and hopefully that holds it better. very windy.
No.
30?
So this is another day of complete wind. Here's our circle, and we're just spinning back and forth and back and forth. Luckily we haven't dragged. We're doing good. The wind is a consistent, we'll call it 30. Oh, that's a big one. Oh yeah. But what's really crazy is it looks like this boat is underway because there's so much swing and we're all moving so quickly that it actually looks like they're moving. Looks like we're moving too, but back and forth. 36.7's our max still.
So it is day 5 or 6 of wind here in Georgetown, and so we're just doing a bunch of boat chores today. We put some new hinges on the dinghy that broke. TJ's cleaned the woodwork, made a nice breakfast, cleaned the sea strainers, and now I am doing some route planning. We need to figure out if we have enough fuel to get us through back to the Dry Tortugas. So I am putting in all of the routes that we think we're going to go on. We're looking at going over to Long Island, the Crooked Islands, Acklands, Mayaguana, Conception, the Raggeds, Gementos, a bunch of those places. So we just want to make sure we have enough fuel and enough fuel in our reserves, because a lot of these places are like middle of nowhere. There's no one else out there. Might not see another boat for days or possibly weeks. It's possible. So you have to be very, very self-sufficient, which is nice on a Nordhaven because we have, there's 4 fuel tanks. You can isolate them. We have a water maker. We have multiple refrigerators and freezers. We can be very, very self-sufficient, which is nice. So I'm just putting all of our routes together to see our total run times and distances so we can then calculate how much fuel we're going to burn, including fuel for the generator to run everything else, to then see if we are good or if we need to fill up somewhere along the way. So that is today's windy day inside project. So this is what route planning looks like. Currently, this is our chart. I believe I'm on a raster chart right now. All these yellow dots are dots that we've put on here. Here is where we are currently in Georgetown. You can see all of the tracks we've been making over here at our anchorage as we've spun around in circles for days. And we are heading south and east, I guess. So we're gonna head down here to Thompson, bay in Long Island up here to Constellation, I think it is. Then our plan is to go up to Conception Island, down to Clarence Town, and then over to the Crooked Islands is where I'm at right now. Looking at potentially going to Mayaguana. They just have this like beautiful anchorage over here in Abrams Bay that looks just so lovely. I really want to go there because I was looking at heading over to these Plana Keys, and there's like nowhere to anchor that's protected. Like, the anchorage is here. Very little info. It doesn't, like, usually when you zoom in it shows you more detailed information, which it's not doing, which means that's all the information I have on this chart. And I believe we're on a raster chart. I can check that in a second. So that's the possible anchorage. So I'm thinking that maybe we'll go to Mayaguana instead. And since I'm doing this for fuel burn, if we change our mind and go to Plana, however you say it, we'll actually use less fuel. So I figure I'd do that one. Now I'm going to do one from Mayaguana over to the Acklands. And to do that, on our charts, you zoom in, I right click, I'll do it out here, right click, new route, and I zoom on out to where I want to go. And I think I have to go all the way around to get into an anchorage on the other side. So when you're going in the Bahamas, especially in other places that have less charts, you want to stay on the purple lines as much as possible. Those are the designated like boating routes, and those have the most accurate, up-to-date information on actual depths being correct. I mean, it's fine when you're out here. That's in meters. That's so deep. So you're going to be good to go. You don't actually need to go on that chart. I'll probably move that line. But when you get into a shallower area, like up in here, you really want to stay on your lines. Is this where I'm going? This looks so shallow. Why do we have an anchorage sign in here? Oh, I think I need to go up here to get into there. That's debatable. Yep, no, it's a 1-7. We're not going to go through that. That's too shallow. Okay, so I'm not going to go in that little shallow area. I'll move this point later. We'll go up here to another anchorage we have marked down. We actually heard that there are flamingos over here, so that's really darn exciting. Right click and route. Gotta name my route. Where's that from? Mayaguana to, I think it's Flamingo Key. Next, that will be 14 hours. Oof, that is long. Okay, maybe we'll find another anchorage before then, but that's 14 hours. See right there, 14 hours and 22 minutes. And right now I'm not worried about the trip start time. I'm just looking for general information. And then I hover over it and it tells me that it is 107 nautical miles. So that is how we go about planning our routes and figuring out if we have enough fuel, where we want to go, and just our general day-to-day. Don't just go into Google Maps and say, I want to go here. We have to go into the charts and look at all the depths to make sure that you're going to be fine. And I mean, this is also going to be very dependent on weather. Routes could change or be delayed based upon weather. If the wind's blowing or waves are coming from certain directions, could need to reroute or skip different islands entirely if we just can't get there. But that's a little bit how route planning looks. So I'm going to get back to this. I have a lot more to do, and I want to be able to get some other stuff done today. So I probably have another hour or so of route planning, and then taking all of my pages of calculations and adding all that together for hours and miles, and then calculating our fuel burn. Math.
Hi, Cam. Cleaning your bed. Just doing a little splish splash here and a splish splash there. Here a splish, here a splash. Here he comes.
Another windy boat project.
Cleaning the stinky bed.
Cleaning the stinky dog bed. Among all the other things, got tons of boat projects done. By the time we leave here, we're gonna be set on boat projects for like a month.
Yeah, right.
No, we will.
No, we'll be ready for more.
No, I think we'll be good. Is it feeling clean?
Yeah. So are my feet. I haven't washed those in a long time.
Stop it. You ready for a clean bed? Oh yes. Are you helping? It's gonna have like clean sheets. Nothing better than getting into a clean bed. As you can tell, we just sit here and swing back and forth. So if you don't like the view out of the window, just wait a few minutes. It will change. So that's the Nordhavens have a lot of windage, they call it, because there's a lot of surface area for the wind to catch. So we catch that wind and it causes us to move around quite a bit, as opposed to, let's say, a sailboat, which doesn't have nearly the same amount of windage. There's little guys out there, the wind doesn't catch them too much with their sails down. So they say stay a little bit steadier, where we tend to really rip around quite a lot. So it's like 4.5 hours.
Okay.
From the southern end down here by Main Point.
So during our big wind fiasco for the last couple of days, Natalie has spent countless hours doing research and putting together routes. So where are we going to be going in the future?
So we're gonna make a few stops. We need 11 passage days to be out in the ocean, because a lot of this next traveling is unprotected waterways, but trying to figure that out, which we don't know the weather, so I'm just kind of putting together a rough itinerary of where we want to go and making sure we have enough time to see everything. So kind of what I do, which I've done for the whole East Coast too, is I put together like a month or two, and I'll start writing in our stops for like where we want to go and make sure we have enough time. So I'm doing March and April right now, and I know at the end of April we're going to start heading over to the Dry Tortugas, so I'm kind of backtracking from there and then making sure I have enough time for the Ragged Islands and the Gementos and Long Island and all of that. But I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to have a decent amount of time and hopefully have enough weather windows.
Because what, we've got how many months left before we're in the Dry Tortugas? Like a month and a half or two?
It's like
a month and a half.
A little longer, but yeah, about a month and a half. So about a month and a half and about, I don't want to say like 9 stops, but 9 like areas we want to go to.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty good. I'll have this whole thing tentatively probably figured out soon, but for anyone who's ever curious how we route plan, this is what I do. I take a piece of paper and I write out all the days of the months, and I put in where we're going to be. So we went to Staniel for 2 nighs. And we traveled on the 6th, and now we've been in Georgetown. We're gonna be here until the 15th because the wind won't stop blowing. And even that is gonna be a kind of crappy weather day to travel, but it doesn't stop for a while. So we're gonna head over to Long Island and be there for a little bit because that's protected from the east. We'll be good there. But this is Encore's not route planning, but planning of where we're going to be and make sure we have time to get there.
Well, you do a great job of it.
Thank you. And then my dad showed me this book, which we've read a little bit, but need to look at some more. The Cruising Guide to the Southern Bahamas. So we're going to look in here. My next task, which you can help me with, is figuring out anchorages and cool spots and which islands we want to go to, and see if we want to like cross any islands off the list or where we really want to make sure we get to.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So the sun is just setting. It calmed down to like 20 or 25 knots today, and it's back up to 30 now. You can see, this is crazy to me. All of those lights are all masts of boats, mostly sailboats. But there have to be hundreds of boats here. And it really looks like we are about to get a big storm coming through. About to get windy, but I'll come around the corner and show you. And it's raining. So we have the hatches closed, the doors are closed, and we are waiting for a big storm because that looks pretty imminent. Oh, I need my shirt. Hold.
There's the wind, at least no rain.
Okay, go ahead. I would let more out than that. Yeah, I would let some more chain out than that for sure. It is finally calming down enough for a beach day today. So we have the tender launched. TJ's getting it anchored over there. And we're gonna go look for some hiking trails to go on. Apparently there's some trails that go all around the island. So we're gonna go and try to find those and go for a few hikes today. But it is so nice to be back in the crystal blue water and finally be enjoying this. Camo's been on the boat. We've all been on the boat for like 3 or 4 days straight now. He was going crazy. Are you so happy to be off the boat? Yes. So just got over from the beach. We have found the trail. It says it's an art trail. We have some little artwork already over here.
This is hilarious. It looks like sailors or cruisers who came here like made like arts and crafts along this trail.
Wow.
Look
Oh
at
yeah,
all these
that's...
little coconuts with faces on them.
Oh my
These coconuts.
god. Stop it. That's hilarious.
That's so cool.
Oh my gosh. Let me see this one right here. Keep going. That's pretty good actually.
They took
Wow.
a feet print for the trail.
Oh, look at this thing over here. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Sliding backwards.
Okay. Oh yeah, little footprints with little rope on the other side. Wow. Never hiked on an art trail before. Oh my
Look at this
god.
tree stump.
It's everywhere. Oh, that's so good. People are highly impressive. That's amazing.
That's cool.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, we're headed over to the windward side of the island. I'm curious to know what this is going to feel like and look like.
I already hear the ocean.
Yeah, me too.
The ocean's been like just ripping for days now. Is that a bottle of alcohol?
No,
Oh,
well,
it's a note
yeah.
in the bottle.
Huh?
It's like a little note in the bottle.
Yeah, this is their family.
Caribbean trail markers.
Caribbean Karens.
Caribbean. Funny. So we are hiking. We were trying to go see some, actually we were just going to see whatever, and then we saw that there's supposed to be some caves and blowholes. Well, we didn't see any caves. Well, we kind of did. There's like kind of a cave and kind of a blowhole.
Yeah.
So, but now we are back on our nice little trail, and we're just planning on doing this for a bunch of the day today. Might head over to Chat and Chill later, a nice little beach bar. So maybe get some conch salad or something. But until then, this is our plan. We should do some trail cleaning over here, TJ.
Good.
We don't have any pruners though, which we kind of need.
Goodness.
There's another one.
I think we're about to get rained on.
I think we are too. And we have finished our hike. Thought we might get rain on us, but that big gray cloud luckily went right past us and didn't get any rain. Did you find a new place to hang out?
Yeah, we did. Quite literally.
Yeah, wow. What do you have it attached to up above on the boat deck?
Yeah,
Wow, is it pretty nice?
it's not bad.
Just got out of the shower. I wasn't expecting to see you hanging there. Oh, yeah.
Anchoring can be a stressful time for a lot of boaters, and over the past year we've developed a procedure that seems to work well for us. So we'll share it here. Before we come into an anchorage, we can see where the other boats are, provided they all have their AIS on, and not always do they. So what we'll do is, based on the water depth, and this is the water depth in meters, we will set a circle diameter, again based on the depth of the water and the length of the boat. We'll know how much chain we want to let out, and we'll set a circle accordingly. And we might put 2 or 3 into an anchorage. In case there's a boat in our primary one, we'll go to the second or the third one. So what we've done here is, you can see our route in. We've come in, we came into the center of the circle, we dropped the anchor, then we slowly backed up, put it in reverse, and what we do is set the anchor. Now we know it was going to blow for about a week here, so we set it at 1300 RPM. We start out at 800 RPM and just slowly work up until the anchor is holding nicely at 1300, and we leave it there for about a minute or 2 or 3 depending. And then once we're confident we aren't moving back, we take the the boat out of reverse, come forward, put the bridle on, and then take the slack off, the tension off the chain. And so here the wind blew almost 360 over the past week, and quite often the wind does that. It clocks around, as they say. So when we first came in, dropped the anchor, brought back, set the anchor here, and then the wind blew us around a bit, and as we got to about 180, you can see there's a gap here. The anchor actually turned and reset. So once it reset, it pulled back a few feet, reset, and then we've been in this quadrant ever since. And when a boat comes into our circle, the alarm will go off, and if we drop out of the circle, another alarm will go off. So by using the electronics, we can get a pretty good feel on how we're doing, how other boats are doing. And this boat here probably isn't drifting off their anchor, but we're all pulling in the same direction, so it's fine. Anyway, hopefully this is helpful for those of you that wonder how anchoring is done, or if you're having trouble deciding in an anchorage where to drop the anchor. This is a nice, helpful tool for us anyway. Hopefully it works for you.
We're coming back from the grocery store.
Natalie spotted some eagle rays.
I spotted something that was dark under the water, and I was like, I don't think that's a rock. I actually thought it was a shark, I'm gonna be honest. But
Can't see him at all.
they're ahead of us. How cool is that?
Here they are.
Eagle rays over here getting our groceries. That's really cool. Seeing eagle rays on our way for our grocery run.
Yeah, it's amazing. This summed up our big wind fiasco storm. We went all the way around, almost did a full 360. We didn't quite do the full 360, but over the duration of the 10 days that it was super windy, that is every direction that our boat faced. Kinda crazy.
Well, that's a new one.
What?
How he's laying.
I know.
Camo. Why are you
It's stretching.
Why are you laying like this? Is that comfortable? You are a strange little boy sometimes. It's okay. You can lay there if you want, though. Are you stuck? No? You're okay? Love you. We love you.
So we're underway today.
We are leaving Georgetown. We've left Georgetown down in the Bahamas, and we are headed to Long Island.
We're gonna go do some new exploring.
Yeah, we were at Georgetown for, I think it definitely has been our longest stop so far. 12. We were there for 12 days.
Well, we were at Chubb longer. Or about the same.
About the same. Yeah, we were here for 14, not 14, we were there for 12 days because the storm was going through and it was like the never-ending windstorm. Other boaters who have been boating for years actually said they've never seen it be that windy for that long.
And it was very windy.
It was very windy. It was about consistently for about 10 days almost, like 30 knots, just consistently blowing between 28 and like 35 knots, just nonstop. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed learning more about the ins and outs of anchoring, navigation, planning, and weathering a storm aboard Encore. Join us next Tuesday as we venture to one of the deepest blue holes in the world.